All right. Cool, cool. I think we are good to go. Up. Reloading in now, Bouchard. All right. I am currently in the steward's office in case anyone elects to join me in the booth. They'll be surprised if we get someone else along the way joining in. I'll see if I can remember how to pronounce. Like L's or yeah, it's a very hard name to pronounce. I'll get used to it over the season. Whenever I get a hard name, it usually just takes me a few races, but I get used to it. But we are here. First of 2 races we will be broadcasting tonight here on ISCRO Central. This being the ISCRO Junior Series race, round number 2 of 10 for this series, and it's here at Kansas Speedway. This is one of the only situations on the schedule in which we actually get 2 races back to back. No off week yet, but Nashville will be an off week for the junior guys before we head to Ohio to the Dodge Motor Drome, and then another off week at Gatineau. So this is the halfway point already of the A1 tour for these guys. No, only administrators and Will Hoyt are allowed in this room. Finn Guy is as well when he wanting to, but usually that's only during the Royale. Only specific people are allowed to join the co-commentators, be co-commentators in live events. But let's get to the grid. It is Anthony Moore for Maverick Wolf Racing Junior Team. Let's see. Hold on, just I need to do. So now I have point up here all time. Get it to up. Ask. Okay. So it is the 83 of Anthony Moore on pole. He is 22nd in points, so it's a tough road ahead for him in the championship. Didn't start out well, but that doesn't mean his championship's over. It's only round 2, so we'll see what Moore can do today to see if he can get a win and get himself out of second to last here alongside Colton Treslin. Where is Treslin? 20th. So yeah, the front row is filled out by guys who are 20th and 22nd in points. It's going to be a tough road for these guys. But this is exactly what they needed today, along with just Molinaro. Actually, Molinaro had a good race. I thought that was Paulin for a second. But those two are going to have a lot of work to do so far in this championship. And Joseph Molinaro, the pole sitter last week at Golden State, is coming out here. 5th in points. He's got a top 5 in points right now. If he can put together another good result, that would be good for the Mazda crew. Will Michtels or Michtels? I mean, clarification again on that. But he will be starting on row 2. Michtel's got 11th in points coming into this season. So far it's not too bad for him. He's very midfield. We'll just have to see as time goes on whether he can continue the pace he's had. Continue try to rise up through the field and get a good championship result. Mitch Tells, that's what it is. Okay, got it. Mitch Tells. Austin Rogers on row 3, the lead car for the full frontal next crew. Yeah, he's 8th in points, so he's been showing pretty well. Like, someone just... Oh, that is... I thought that someone joined. Hi, Aiden. Rogers, the lead car, and he's proved it so far. 8th in points, the highest out of the full frontal next crew.
You never saw me.
I never heard the boom that it usually gives me. Probably because I'm in streamer mode.
Odd.
I mean in points, Bouchard. Rogers is the highest in points for the team. But he is the second highest on the grid for this team, alongside Carla Violet. I'm going to get all the people's points so that we can cover where everyone is. We're starting to the front. 18th in points for Carla. It wasn't a good start to the season for her. I mean, could improve. Again, only race 1. We got 9 more rounds to go. So, it's still anyone's game at this point. Taylor Decker, I believe, also did not do very well. 13th, actually better than I thought. Taylor could have been better, could have been worse. Still a lot like we saw before. It's just very midfield. Could recover, maybe, maybe not. We'll see as time goes on. Alongside tied for your points lead, Haley Takoto coming in. Kenny Moma and Haley Takoto tied for the points lead coming into today. Technically, it is Kenny Moma leading because he wins the tiebreaker on wins. But Takoto is the joint point leader, so very much in a great position at the start of this race. Possibly keep that points lead against Kenny as it goes on. Brett Moma in the 47. Kenny Moma's brother, 7th in points. Very strong start to the season for him as well. We'll see how he can do in that 47, try to match his brother. And then it's Anderson Reed, who, where is Anderson Reed in points? 14th, another person just very midfield on this grid. In points, as Kenny Moma did not get a good qualifying position, so it's going to be a steep hill to climb for him. Rest of the field, we're going to lightning straight through it. Brennan Barnes, Hans Fischer, Alex Gray, AJ Canton, Nonagon Scott, Francois Chastain, Kenny Moma, your other point leader, Stanton Thaber, Tristan Faulkner, Marcel Page, Axel Pollen, Christian Vargas, and taking up the back end of the field is Brandon Morris for Roush Racing Developments. Roush Racing Developments didn't get too good of a qualifying. It definitely could have been better. But their best guy being Francois Chastain, all the way back here on row 8 on the outside. So that's 16th is the best qualifying result for Roush Racing. Not a good start to the year. Or not a good start to the weekend for them. Cars are about to get rolling. Round 2. For Respect Field, this could go any way. We could see the whole entire field be flipped from last week. Just because all these cars are the exact same when it comes to rating.
These cars could also flip over.
I mean, Roger Ray isn't in one of the cars, so we'll see.
Considering he has more experience than everybody here, it's frightening.
Although I do kind of expect to see Haley Takoto possibly drop back at the start because starting on the outside isn't very good. It's going to be very bunchy and packy at the beginning, but it will spread out as time goes on. That will be a lot more apparent in the higher tiers with the faster cars, but this is kind of the best I can do with the junior cars with the lower ratings. But they will still spread out. PLS will spread out a little more, and SES will be even more spread out for their race. No pits for the junior guys. It's just going from start to end. We will see a pit stop in the Panasonic Light Series around lap 35 to 36. pace car coming in. The first attempt. We'll see how it goes. Anthony Moore leads it down to the green flag here, as we will be green for the junior guys, and we're green for the first time in Kansas.
Terrible start from the 42. That shift was very late.
Yeah. Shifted later, spun the tires. Either way, that was not a good start out of Treslin. And in turn, Mitch Tells.
That's really weird.
Mitch Tells got a pretty bad start as well. It's Moore, Maldonado, and Rogers, your top three. Maldonado looking to try to take the points lead if he can win here today. As long as Takoto didn't get as good of a start as anyone would want. And no, she didn't, but MoMA did. That actually turns the points lead in the favor of the 4. Actually, right now it's in the favor of the 7, but between those two, it's in favor of Kenny MoMA as Anthony Moore goes back down the inside for the lead. And here's what I was talking about. It's a little bunchy on the start. A lot of people already trying to go 3 wide. But it will slowly settle out. Saber and Fisher did not get off to a good start at all. As here we go again, Maldonado back down the inside. We're just waiting for 1, 2, maybe 3 people to break away as it's expected to be within a few laps here. Maldonado now taking the lead back away from Moore, and instead it's Carla Violet who will get a piece of this action with Brandon Barnes as well right behind.
3 wide behind them too.
Yep. You have a 3 wide. That is Faulkner, Gray, and Decker. There's another 3 wide back here. Brett MoMA, Haley Takoto, and Will Mitchells. Very packy on the start. I didn't expect it to be this bad.
The 3's getting a huge run on the outside.
Wasn't this bad when I tested it. Usually they'd be a little more spread out by now. Give it a bit. Kenny MoMA trying to go up into second. Anthony Moore already recovered to come and challenge for third again. While Brandon Barnes out front here in Kansas leading some laps. That's 1 extra bonus point for leading a lap, so any points is points. Now Kenny MoMA starting to break out from the pack. Same with Anthony Moore, so we may finally see some spreading here. Yeah, I think we're finally starting to see them spread out a little bit. But MoMA now closing in on the 87 of Brandon Barnes as he goes down the inside for the lead. Your points leader and your winner at Golden State is going to take the lead here in Kansas.
The 87 had a terrible run off the corner.
Nope, instead it's the 83 and the 98. His 2 teammates, Moore and Reed, coming up into a 2-3. And they're going to overtake Kenny MoMA pretty easily as it seems to be a 6-car breakaway from your normal pack. Except that's going to break it up even more to maybe a 4-car breakaway as Barnes and Nonagon Scott go up the track and invite AJ Canton into their battle. All packed up back here. I believe that is Axel Paulin at the rear of the field. He's last in points currently, so this is not what he wants to see. Same with Haley Takoto, who is actually leading the points, but also doesn't want to be near the rear of the field at this point, as the spreading is soon to begin. Anderson Reed, Colton Treslin, and Kenny MoMA now your top 3. As Treslin down the inside, Treslin was not the pole sitter. Your outside pole sitter takes the lead away. And Barnes starting to come back into this. Makes it 3 wide for second. MoMA squeezed in between the 2 Mavericks. Reed will get away. He'll start to go back after Treslin. It is not fully spread out yet, as I expected it to be by this point. No cautions just yet, though. Although I expect one sometime
53
soon.
Almost nailed the wall.
Yeah, that was close. Paulin finally starting to move through the field with Takoto. Now it's Mitch Tells at the rear of the field with Alex Gray, his teammate. Have to start working through the field with Tristan Faulkner as well. Front, Treslin still holds the lead over Anderson Reed, while Barnes and Rogers do battle. Kenny Momo rounds out your top 5 currently. Your fastest lap early in the race is Francois Chastain. In the 27, where is he currently on track? Down in 18th, almost in a 4 wide. One of them in the 4 wide being the point leader. And there they go. That's Faulkner, Takoto, and Chastain. A round coming into 3. And that is big for Takoto's championship.
None of them wanted to let off. It's really unfortunate.
Yep, Treslin will lead it back to the line over Reed, Rogers, MoMA, and Barnes. And that did not go the way Takoto wanted it to for round 2.
He's on fire. He probably won't get back out on the race. Damn it.
Takoto is a she. So how did it start? Coming down across the line as we hit lap 11. And I think it was Alex Gray here who would force it 4 wide. Yeah, he just pushed his way in there. Got the 37 loose.
But the 27 should have probably...
Oh, whoa, hold on. Hold on. Did Gray just bump the 37? Excuse me!
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a penalty. You just straight up pushed him up the track into 2 other people.
He knew he forced it 4 wide as well. That's going to be into the hauler for him. That's very, very rookie move right there.
Yeah, Gray is definitely going to pay for that. The 3 moved up straight into the line of the others. He had so much track below him. And Takoto, Faulkner, and Chastain paid the price for Alex Gray's stupidity. And yeah, that's most likely going to be a penalty. They cannot be happy with him right now. As we get up to pace and under caution. First runs in the books, though. I didn't expect it to make it past lap 10, so I'm actually pleasantly surprised about that. Alex Gray, whether it's him or his spotter, someone's to blame here.
Honestly, some of those cars on the outside should have backed off as well, but
Alex Gray's
was kind of...
Yeah, Gray's definitely the one most at fault. So we're going to come back. Pace car's back in. Colton Treslin as we go to lap 16 of 47. And we'll go back green here. Full frontal next leads it down. Green flags back in the air.
Great start from the 42.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
Just couldn't catch him right there. The Dodgers are doing great today.
Not as good of a jump off the line out of Rogers, though. Rogers did not get off the line. He'll lose a spot to MoMA and a spot to Barnes, it looks like. Maybe to Vargas if he can get up there. But if anything's going to spread out the field, it's going to be this. As Treslin will lead. Currently, no one has beaten Chastain's fast lap. Get the guys down at the rear, Faulkner and Chastain making their way past Carla Violet. They don't seem to have too much damage. I'm guessing they pit. Francois did. Faulkner didn't. You could see that rear end damage. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's going to affect both of them, though. As a lot of battling at the rear of the field. All these people trying to get up through the field is Alex Gray.
31 tried to move the 83 out of the way. That's what I saw. Very aggressive in the rear of the field.
And Kenny MoMA. Your point leader takes the lead away from Colton Treslin, but it's definitely not over. As Barnes closing up on the 42 as well, gonna push his way down the inside. But Treslin's teammate Decker is closing up on these guys.
These guys are going really fast here.
Yeah, that's pretty much how Kansas has always been.
considering it's a junior series, though, I mean, these speeds are considerably high.
Yeah.
Panasonic, I'd understand. These
Elites,
guys,
yeah. Oh, another!
Oh, huge hit! Oh, that's
Oh, and that might be a restart.
Oh my god, Maldonado is dead.
Maldonado goes flying.
The Mazda's destroyed.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Moore hits him, and he just... Oh, yeah, here comes
I don't think the 83 expected him to check up.
And who does he hit?
He's just trying to save the car.
Morris, and... That wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was.
No, but that's still a massive crash.
Passenger side hit and a lot of rolls. He'd definitely be very, very, very bad, but definitely wouldn't be, like, close to death. Don't think that may be a restart, though.
That was...
Omega.
Yikes.
He's fine.
Massively.
He's not fine on Jack. He's not fine.
His brains are outside the window. I can see them.
What brains?
I shouldn't be able to see a man's brains.
He's a junior driver. What brains? Alright, now that terrible joke is over with. At number 2.
I can see how smart he is by the density. Let me just grab a taste.
After that huge incident that didn't happen, wink wink, we're gonna give this another go.
Man, I think the pace car crashed or something. That was horrifying. Thank God we have a new pace car and a new pace car driver.
No, it's going to be a restart. So.
Poor pace car driver, though.
Yep,
he's not with us anymore.
Yeah, he's dead. Don't ask who's driving the pace car now. Nobody is. Don't worry about it. Pace car coming in. This time, Anthony Moore will lead it down to the green flag. 47 laps.
The Sealand governor rolls off.
Huh?
We got a special guest appearance. More great... Oh, the Mazda behind had a massive jump. It's a great start.
Yep, Moore and Maldonado, especially Maldonado, it seems, got a jump on pretty much everyone else. They're going. Treslin didn't get going again. He had another go at getting a good jump, and he fails it again. Good job.
Oh, they are...
One thing to spin the tires the first time, but to do it both times.
Change Discord channels.
What?
Nothing. Discord does not exist. It's a word.
Ah. I mean, why wouldn't Discord exist in this?
I don't know. War crimes? Maybe it's a Chinese thing? I don't know.
Maybe it's a Chinese thing. Bruh.
Not racially. I meant like a Chinese corporation.
Of course the program isn't China. It can't be. Alright, now that that's over with, moving on. Anthony Moore still leads.
That's why game programs are called Unity.
So this is the spread that I kind of expected, as they're definitely a lot more spread out on this run.
Great run by the 7 out the corner. He caught right up.
Are those all 4 Roush Racings under a blanket of each other? Yeah, they were. Marcel Page and Faulkner will get the jump on the other 2, though. Faulkner, 15 years of age.
And going 191 miles per hour in a race car.
Totally not dangerous. Don't worry about it. Not against the law. So it's fine.
In Kansas, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think we can't go to Nashville? Okay, I'm joking.
Talladega.
Talladega's a little bit different.
Oh, 4 wide. jeez, that was close.
A little bit scary.
Oh, near contact.
And it is Rogers now up front. Your fastest lap so far is out of your point leader. Kenny Moma as he jumps into third. Oh,
did I just see a car on the wall?
no, Decker was able to keep it off the wall. Very close, but able to keep it going. But Decker's kind of screwed right now. Taylor Decker.
Oh,
now
four wide. Oh, no.
Faulkner,
Very
okay.
Close. 54 did not get the run out the corner.
Vargas.
Now 2-wide battle.
Vargas forced to back off there.
Very, very scary stuff.
So I thought they were spreading out. Apparently that was a fucking lie. Oh no. The guys at the front are just running.
Are the FCS guys using the same package?
They're going to be a little faster, which means I could actually let them get a little more aggressive without dying, but they also spread out a little more because of their high speed. And Barnes?
Oh, 4 wide again. Oh my god. That was really close.
Anderson Reed got pushed to the rear of the field, but it seems he's starting to make progress again. Got through the two Roush Racings on Morris and Chastain and by Carla Violet. And now going after Hans Fischer. Could go after Treslin soon. Maybe Nonagon Scott.
Tetris with these cars.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Kenny Moma is fast once more. Axel Paulin, now your fastest car on track, as Reed down the inside of Canton. Was a very risky move, not going to work.
Got some spots on the outside, though.
Reed is definitely fast. He needs people to stop doing that. Okay, we're 3x3, separated by about 2 car lengths a row. Apparently that's a thing. Kenny Moma back out front. Rogers in second. Alex Gray not penalized anymore in third. Mitch Tells wanted to join his teammate, but Brett Moma gonna push it down the inside. Joseph Maldonado closing it behind.
What are you talking about, the penalty? What penalty?
I don't know. I blacked out for a second there. So here is Maldonado and Takoto, who are both drivers who have competed in the WGP series over in mainly Europe. But
Stock Car Series or the
WGP, World Grand Prix Association. That's the Formula 1 in this canon.
Yes, and he has to go to the Junior Series because he doesn't know how to drive a stock car.
Yeah, actually, it's mainly because Maldonado actually never competed in WGPA. He competed in WGP2. He never made it to the Premier Class. He's dead now. Moving on. So Kenny Moma out front, trying to get away from the field, but his biggest championship rival, Haley Takoto, peeking into the picture. I have a feeling that these two will probably be moving up after this season.
Very fast.
With how this has been going so far, even though it's only round 2, they're showing a lot of pace. There is your pole sitter, Moore.
Behind is
oh, Jesus.
massive.
That was 3 wide between Roush Racing cars.
Oh, the 31 on the bumper of the 37, near contact.
That was way too close. Never do that again.
Very aggressive driving.
And Takoto up into third now. I think Moma's got to see that behind. They're tied in points, so whoever's leading, whoever wins out of these two is going to be leading the points coming out of this if they're this high up, because their next big rival is probably Rogers, actually. Rogers, let me get the top part of the point. Rogers 8th in points. He's only 14 points down to the points lead. How many Pontiacs left in... What? What do you mean? I don't understand. This is not Lights, this is Junior.
You be looking like a Pontiac right now, not gonna lie.
A little bit. Let's see. Yeah, Moore's not in the points battle. Pollin's not in the points battle. Barnes not really. Decker.
That's 3 wide.
Brett is. Brett's in this points battle somewhat. 7th in points. we'd be looking for people like Hans Fischer. Oh, no, Brandon Barnes was third. What am I thinking? No, he's... Barnes is 100% in this points battle and could be a huge championship contender here.
However, it's only been like one race.
Yeah, obviously things can change. As here comes Alex Gray closing in. MoMA looks like he might get dethroned here. As Moore moves up into third from your pulse. From pole, drop back to the field and has come back up.
Very clean driving from these guys. Well, I don't know about that, but they've been lucky enough to not get themselves into an incident.
So you're just asking general. There is Duncan Rogers and Dow DuPont are the Pontiac teams down in light.
Bow to them.
And here we come. We're going to get a lead change here. Alex Gray down the inside. And he will take the lead away from point leader. Dakota dropped back a little, but not much. Now drafting with her teammate Barnes. They're 2-3 in the championship. And it seems that points rivalry is transferring here as Dakota tries a challenge. Doesn't work as Barnes will start to go after Paulin. Paulin dead last in points. As there is MoMA back for the lead, but that doesn't look like it's going to last because here comes Anthony Moore.
Ooh, the Mazda.
Yeah.
Very loose off corner exit.
Paulin almost hit Gray. Able to keep it under control as it's Moore in second. Barnes in third, and Takoto going to fourth. It's Maverick in a 2-3-4, chasing after your point leader. Mazda's dropping a little, but they're still kind of in this. Holland's dropping, but Maldonaro's rising.
Wonder if there's any speed energy here.
Shut up. Anthony Moore down the inside for the lead.
I got paid millions of dollars to say that.
No.
Millions.
And Moore goes from pole, drops back, and is taking the lead.
I'm no longer in debt.
And what a terrible fucking line out of Kenny MoMA. That was embarrassing.
Now you're gonna have to pay debts because just swore on live television.
That was like secondhand embarrassment of how bad that line was.
Yeah, that was not very smart. These cars do not have a lot of grip on the outside line.
I chose that line, and now he'll lose a spot to his biggest championship rival. As we stand, though, I was about to say as we stand, MoMA would still be in the points lead if it wasn't for the fact that he did it a second time. And he loses spots to Rogers and Barnes. So this means that those are three of his bigger championship rivals, all just past him. And there goes his brother as well. And here comes Maldonado. All the big guys from last week are up here again. That's kind of weird. I fully expected it to be like a full swap of the order from last week, but it really hasn't been. A lot of the same guys are showing themselves again. Alex Gray starting to come through the field.
Fallen multiple positions back.
Yeah, like Axel Paulin, who was still falling. Faulkner looked like he was making progress there for a moment, but now he's dropping back. Reed trying to defend from the 42 of Treslin, and he will.
Gray lost about like 10 positions.
Yep. It is more out front. Rogers taking second away from the Maverick. Dakota. It's only the full frontal next car in between Maverick Wolf Racing junior team trying to take a top 3 sweep. Brandon Barnes trying to get down the inside. Wants to be a part of this. Down a 6-point deficit to Takoto and MoMA. Right now would probably have the spot over MoMA, but not over Takoto even with that pass.
MoMA would probably have the spot over MoMA.
Yeah.
Sir?
No, MoMA would not be ahead in points of MoMA. Not yet. A few more lost spots out of MoMA, and MoMA will be able to take his points position.
That was close.
Yeah, a little bit. Reed drops back a little bit again, and is once again going to hunt straight back through. Back up into 13th, and is challenging Carla. A little too risky, Reed. Back the fuck off. It's only lap 26. You still got about half of this race to go, fam.
You're gonna have to pay your fucking house. Oh, shit, I did it. Damn it. No.
I mean, I don't really care about swearing. Yeah, we do have a 6-car breakaway here, though. That seems to be how this race is going to settle out. It's Moore, Rogers, Barnes, Dakota, Maldonado, and MoMA who will be the top 6 breakaway. Morris going to try to catch up to them. Have to see how that goes. Reed, the only member of Maverick who is not at the front of the field. He's kind of struggling here. Down in 12th, being pressured now by Taylor Decker and trying to challenge Carla Violet. While Kenny MoMA trying to move through to get back up into a points, back into the points lead position. But Barnes looks like he might have a chance to get it here. I believe Kenny MoMA has led the most laps up to this point. If that were to stay the same, he would gain a 3-point jump, which would basically mean that he would basically be 5th right now. So as we stand, I think MoMA is in the points lead still.
Shall we add POS star Tristan Wilhoit into the booth?
Oh, wait, hold on before we do that. AJ Canton has blown his motor. That's Chevrolet.
Las Vegas.
Yep. But, I mean, Wilhoit's allowed in this chat. He has the permissions to join.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, because he's a server booster. I gave him access to this. Wilhoit, you can join at any time.
You're looking like a FedEx truck. I also got paid a lot of money to say that.
So, seems like Morris and MoMA have caught up to these guys now, making this an 8-car battle.
The biggest simp in PLS is here.
Yes.
There's Wilhoit. Moore out front. Trying to get away from Rogers here. If Moore can lead the most laps, that would take it away from Kenny MoMA, which would give Haley Dakota the points lead back. That's probably what Dakota is banking on, is that Moore can lead the most laps here. If Dakota were to win the race and MoMA were to get second with the most points, with the most laps led, they would still be tied. Would be a little awkward.
Ooh, battle for the lead, I think.
I see that Gamers Holy Army has joined our chat.
That's a 3-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, it was. Rogers takes it away from Moore.
Holy Army.
And now Kenny MoMA down the inside of Takoto and will put the points lead back in his favor. Going to go down the inside of Maldonado and maybe even more. Try to go for 3. But no, Moore is able to defend. Kenny and Brett putting the pressure on. Yep.
Between the Mazda and I think the Honda.
Yep. Takoto taps Maldonado. They both go up the track. They save it, but that'll lose some spots out of Takoto, which is not good for the points lead. Brett MoMA goes to the lead. Gonna try to get Pontiac some more laps led. Some more points, but Moore gonna try to stop that.
Oh, near contact. 47. Choosing whether to go low or high, and he stays high.
And it will be Brett MoMA leading a lap, so that is 1 extra point to his name.
The Mazda had a huge run off the corner and is now battling for the 3rd position.
Yeah, Joseph launches it. Joseph, not sure which one it is.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Axel, don't.
The agility on those Mazdas really saved a bunch of these incidents from happening today.
Yeah, that was a little bit too close, not gonna lie. Brett MoMA now leads. Kenny MoMA going into 2nd. Where the fuck is Fisher? 13th. He's actually coming right now. He's been nowhere this race so far. Good to see he's finally making some progress. Maldonado now trying to get through the 83 as Brandon Morris into the top 5. Morris is 9th in points, so this is kind of a day that he needs as well. Maldonado has gotten through more and is going to start going after the MoMAs.
Unless the 26 goes under him, which he had great run off the corner, so that's what he's going to do. I think I saw near contact behind between the Dodge and the Honda.
Dodge and the Honda. Maybe. As Takoto's going to start trying to get through the field again. That's going to be halted almost immediately by the Dodge of Rogers. Instead, Kenny Moma going to try to come up. It looks like this is going to be a battle between brothers for the win of this race. Morris.
Don't take each other out.
Morris is up into third. He'll start making his hunt after your top two.
Pontiac would not like that.
Axel Paulin, your fastest car of the race, but he's going to start moving backwards again. Been up and down from Anderson. Reed already fell back near the rear. Marcel Page and Tristan Faulkner not having good days. Pretty much Ford is all resting in the hands of the 26. Kenny Moma got the lead, but Brett's going to be going back for it here.
Very rookie mistake of these two battling it out instead of
focusing on keeping it.
Yes, focusing on the gap and trying to pull away from the field.
Like your brothers, for God's sake, you should be focusing on winning.
Working together and not trying to go for supremacy.
So now Morris is in this battle. We are at 8 to go, coming to 7 laps to go. This time around, Brandon Morris closing in. Moore and Maldonado, I wouldn't count them out either if these two keep battling up here. Takoto being challenged by Fisher, who's finally joined in. It only took you 41 laps to be a part of this. Oh, Kenny peaks. Not going to get there. Brett still leads. Morris continues to close. We go again. Yep.
Around in an oval?
Here we go again. Kenny Moma and Brett Moma as Brett's going to run it real wide. Morris closing in. Pontiac has not interfered with this. Travis Scott probably likes this type of shit.
But why would Travis Scott like this?
He's the
Texan.
most deranged Texan man of all time.
He is. He loves battling.
He has a bunch of money just because.
And Morris now.
Made all that money at Ram Ranch.
Peaks on Brett. Doesn't work. Instead, basically just gives him a push.
Very good project.
Morris looks like he tried to force a mistake, but...
Takoto's still trying to keep it on Fisher. We'll lose the spot.
The Mazda. Oh, no! Contact!
Barnes!
Oh,
and saves it! Oh.
The Mazdas are crazy aggressive today.
I don't know what is up with those Mazdas, man.
I don't blame the Mazda.
And there he goes! Brandon Morris down the inside of Kenny Moma will bring Moore with him. It's Moore and Morris. Joseph peeking into this battle as well. As we're coming to 3 laps to go. Kenny won the first race. Can Brett win the second? As Moore pushes Moma wide, he continues to lose positions. He was at a place to win this race. Now he's just trying to keep a top 5. If it wasn't for the fact that Rogers makes a really stupid mistake.
He swears the wide line works.
2 laps to go for Brett Moma. Brandon Morris in second. It seems that...
too far back.
It seems that Dakota was able to get it away. And it's going to try to hunt up, maybe get Moma by the... I don't think he's going to get Moma by the end of this. I think Brett's got this, though. They will need a major mistake out of Brett Moma to win this race. White flag in the air for Brett Moma. His brother won the opener. He'll try to win the second race of the year.
Seems like they're going to battle for the second position.
Yep. Moore takes over the position from Morris. Easy move. He'll go from pole, lead a lot of laps, and will get second, but through the last corner. And Brett Moma will follow in his brother's footsteps. He'll take the second race win of the season. Moma wins at Kansas. It's Brett Moma, Anthony Moore, Kenny Moma, Brandon Morris, and Austin Rogers rounding out your top 5. Takoto is going to come home 7th, not that far away from Kenny, so not going to lose too many points. Maldonado in 6th, Treslin 8th, Francois Chastain in 9th, and Brandon Barnes after that amazing save will round out your top 10. And excuse me, where the fuck do you think you're going? Hey, Nonagon, get back in here. Who gets that honorary last place? Well, actually, we know who gets honorary last place because that would be that camshaft issue out of the 5 of AJ Canton. But then it's Faulkner, which got pushed to the rear and couldn't recover. But congratulations to, where is he? He already pulled in his pit stall. Brett Moma. He'll take a win here. IJS 2018 round 2. And there it is. Brett Moma will take the win here at the first race at Kansas for these guys. The Momas 1-3 after they went 1-7 last week. Brett's going to be pretty good in points. Kenny's obviously going to be your point leader out of the day. Going a 1-3, Takoto a 2-7. And I think it might have been Kenny Momo leading the most laps. Pretty sure it is. So Kenny Momo will get some extra points, which will basically give him the second most points out of the day. But not as much as Brett. Brett takes the win. So good job out of Brett Moma. We're going to finish this up quick. And we're going to move to Panasonic Light Series in just a minute. A new stream will be started and announced in the race video chat in just a minute.
I'm going to take a shower in the booth.
Oh.
It's all gas. Help.
All right, so we'll be back.